All right, let's talk about something we've probably all dreamed about: the perfect project. You know, the one where everything is planned down to the last detail, it all goes off without a hitch, and there are absolutely zero risks. It's a great idea, right? A totally smooth ride from A to B. But is that dream actually achievable, or is it just a dream? Let's dive in.
So I want to ask you a question, straight up. Just think about any project you've ever worked on, big or small. Can you honestly say it had zero risk? I mean, not one single chance of something, anything, going a little differently than you planned?
Yeah, the answer is a pretty hard no, isn't it? This quote just nails it. A zero-risk project isn't just rare, it's an oxymoron. It's a total contradiction in terms. It simply does not and cannot exist. And over the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly why that is. To really get it, you have to look at the very DNA of a project, because it turns out uncertainty isn't just some random thing that might happen to your project. It's literally woven into its fabric from the very beginning. In fact, there are 6 core components. Think of them as 6 strands of this risky DNA that show up in every single project, no exceptions. Let's walk through them, because understanding what they are is the key to getting a handle on them. Okay, first up, uniqueness. The thing is, no two projects are ever really the same. Maybe you have a new team, a different client, a slightly tweaked scope. That little bit of newness, that first-time feeling, that's your first and most basic source of uncertainty. Second is complexity. Projects are this tangled web of interconnected parts, right? You've got the tech, the contracts, the team dynamics, and here's the kicker. The real risk usually hides in the gaps between all those things. That makes it incredibly difficult to see trouble coming. Third, we have assumptions. And let's be real. Every project plan is basically a collection of educated guesses. We just assume the key people will be available, the funding will come through, the market will stay the same. We have to make these guesses, but if even one of them is wrong, the whole house of cards can start to wobble. Number 4, dependencies. You know this one. No project is an island. We're all relying on suppliers, on other departments, on subcontractors. Every single one of those is a risk, because it's something we don't directly control. If they're late, guess what? We're late. Fifth, and this is a big one, is change itself. I mean, what is a project? The whole point is to create change, to build something new, to get from the present we know to a future we don't. That journey, by its very nature, is a trip straight into the heart of uncertainty. And the sixth and final source of risk? Well, it's us, people. Projects are run by humans, and we bring all of our amazing, messy, unpredictable selves to the table, our different motivations, our good days, our bad days. That human element is the last piece of the puzzle, and it's totally unavoidable. So if risk is just baked into the cake, how does anything ever get done? Well, here's the twist. If you've ever managed a project, you are already a risk manager. You just probably don't call yourself one. Think about it for a second. What is scope management? It's really just managing the uncertainty around what we're supposed to be building. Time management, that's tackling the uncertainty of when it'll be done. And cost management is all about controlling the uncertainty around the budget. When you look at it that way, basic project management is risk management. Which brings up a pretty good question, right? If we're already doing it, why do we need a whole separate process called risk management? Well, it's for everything else. It's for all the uncertainties that fall outside those nice, neat boxes of scope, time, and cost. It's the safety net that catches all the unexpected stuff that our standard plans just don't see. And right here, this is where the whole story gets really interesting. We've been talking about risk as this negative, scary thing we have to avoid. But that's only looking at one side of the coin. Modern risk management knows there's a huge, surprising upside to all this uncertainty. See, risk has 2 faces. On one side, you've got the threats, the downside. This is the stuff we all worry about, right? Things that cost more money, take longer, or hurt our reputation. But on the other side, you've got opportunities, the upside. These are the unexpected chances to actually save money, finish early, or even boost performance. A really solid risk process looks for both. So this gives us a much better, much more powerful definition of risk. It's not just about what might go wrong. Risk is any uncertainty that matters, anything that could impact your project's goals, for better or for worse. The whole game is to crush the downside and ride the upside. So how do we put it all together? It starts by changing how we think. Being proactive about risk isn't just about dodging bullets, it's about steering the ship. It turns your risk radar from a simple warning system into the project's rudder. letting you actively navigate through uncertainty and toward success. So here's the playbook in a nutshell. You keep a risk radar on at all times, always scanning what's ahead. You use it to spot both the potential icebergs, the threats, and the favorable currents, the opportunities. Then your job is simple. Do everything you can to minimize the bad stuff and maximize the good stuff. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to this. Risk management isn't just some extra paperwork or another meeting on the calendar. It is the thing that separates successful projects from the ones that fail. It's what gives you the absolute best chance to win in a world that is fundamentally uncertain. And that leaves us with one last thing for you to think about. For whatever project you're working on right now, ask yourself this. Is your risk radar actually on? Or are you just flying blind and hoping for clear skies? Because as we've just seen, the answer to that question could make all the difference. Thanks for tuning in.